Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Golden Thread 2. I want to check in because I know we're trying to get everyone online right now, so we're gonna wait a couple of minutes before we start the actual show. But I wanted to pop on here and say hello. I am your Master of Ceremonies, Sebastian Variano, and I will be guiding you through this spectacular night of art, of live art, brought to you in a virtual interface, which is pretty incredible. So, hope you all are doing all right. These are definitely some really crazy times. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all of the violence and the sorrow that is around us right now, and I hope that we can provide some levity, some joy for you all on this dreary day, and this time of change. And I want to encourage you to continue to use your voice, to stay empowered, and to continue to inspire change. And I love you all. So, I'm not entirely sure where we're or when we're set to go, but I'm gonna let y'all know. But I can talk a little bit about the process of this show while we're waiting, because live theater, man, live art is wild. So the Golden Thread is produced by Kymberlee della Luce, an interdisciplinary artist who is happily bringing artists together to continue to create art, even though we can't do it in front of a live in-person audience. We're happy to be bringing it to a live virtual audience. So we are we have a few shows. We did a show last month, I believe. I'm not entirely sure when it was, but we did a show, and we have another show that's coming up on the 13th of June at 7. Tickets are on sale now, so make sure to grab those. It is the Golden Thread Women's Work, so it is all women's work. And we already have a great lineup of people, and I think it's gonna be a really great time. So make sure to, if you enjoy this this event, please feel free. I encourage you to share it, to share the event, and to share the whole experience and your experience with your friends and your family and your community, because we're trying to provide a good solid space while we're in this transitional time. And then we have another show after the June 13th show, the Women's Work show. We have on July 11th, we have a Golden Thread, the Golden Thread Youth Edition. So it's all people between the ages of, I think 15 and, I'm going to say 15 and 20. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it's all young people. Obviously, I am only 17 years old, so I'm already bringing the youth side into these shows. But and we have a couple other young people in this show tonight who are freaking incredible. So I can't wait for you guys to see them. And we also have several. The creative, talented youth of today is pretty phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to you all seeing it. So I hope that you get your tickets for that as well. I'm not sure if those are on sale yet, but they will be soon. And if you come to the Golden Thread 3, I guess, the Women's Work, you will get, we'll talk about it then. So I am the resident host of these events. So I hosted the first one. I'm obviously hosting this one. I'm hosting the next 2 as well. So I'm not sure when we are going to, to if we're going to do any more. But let's get started on this wonderful ride of talent and live art, brought to you from the comfort of your own home. I hope you all are either comfortable or all stylish up like I am. And yeah, we're ready to go. So, introducing our first artist, we have we have so we have we have someone who's going to be live painting. David Johansen is a Seattle-based interdisciplinary artist who works with several different medias to create a unique experience, in bringing feeling to his artwork. Recently, he's been doing many murals around Georgetown, and even was featured in this King 5 special thing called Pandemic Can't Steal Georgetown's Color. While also, he's been painting hats to give to frontline workers, which is amazing. You will be able to live bid on his work until the end of the performances tonight, so make sure you leave your bids in the comments. That is, the comments are on the same page as the event in which you are the web page in which you're watching. So I believe it's at the bottom of the page. You can leave comments, leave your live bids, and he will be on screen for the majority of this night, or like on and off, creating art to the art that he is watching and hearing. So that is David. He is our artist. He's our painter. So we have David, and then our first specific artist is Gray Violet, who is a poet and singer-songwriter based in the greater Seattle area. She is a Totem Star artist, a future student at Cornish College of the Arts, and tomorrow is competing in Youth Speaks Grand Slam for a spot on Seattle's team for the International Youth Poetry Slam Festival, Brave New Voices. She currently has a single available on SoundCloud titled Real, and tonight she will be debuting her new, not yet released single right here for you all. For the first time, you get to hear this song before anyone else does. So without further ado, let's welcome Gray Violet. Whenever you're ready, Gray.
But layers are restrictive, and I'd rather be nervous in bodily shame than feel the disdain of a moment not seized. A prick of dis-ease at my ashy knees and my bloated belly. The only love I made was to teriyaki. But I don't think I'm ready for this food baby growing inside me. Actually, it may be twins. I tied the ends of my insecurities into a tidy bow of comedy, beg someone to look deeper and see that this present is more like Pandora's box. Hope that they'll set my dark parts free, just so hope can be revealed to me. I look into the mirror and only see pieces of me. I separate them into things I can understand, the pretty, the ugly, and maybe the in-between. I feel too exposed in this flowy robe. I undress my faults with my eyes, try to find love in the imperfections. The doubt sets in. Even the cool breeze of morning gets a little humid sometimes. Now that the introductory poem is over, I'm going to introduce myself a bit more formally. I'm Gray Violet, and I'm a singer-songwriter and newly self-titled poet. When I accepted this performance opportunity, I was conflicted. Should I do my poetry or perform my music? Throughout quarantine, I have been looking through my notebooks and picking out songs that I wish had more detail in them. I then started writing poems to explain all the things I wish I could have included in the music. Those projects reinforced my thinking that I didn't have to choose between my two passions, so I decided to do both. For my performance today, I'm going to share some music along with complementing poetry. I'm going to share a song that was originally a poem called Periwinkle. perfectly steady, cosmically cosmetic, marvelously magnetic. Periwinkle, baby blue. Periwinkle, baby blue. Whispering bizarre. No, I don't know why. Periwinkle, baby. My favorite you is fixed on you, amazing for you. You, maybe, just maybe be mine. There we go, baby blue. Can trust my you. You do, yes, you. Before I go into the poem, I want to give a brief backstory. About a year and a half ago, I was working on my first ever poetry scene. I thought I had everything I needed, but it turned out that I was one poem short. Trying my best not to who is this love interest? I wrote this poem, titled The Periwinkle Girl, to answer that question. If she was beauty, then I was not. I was tumbling words, tumbling over insecurity, tumbling over desire, tumbling over this is too good to be true. She was periwinkle blue, and I beauty, and I was not. I was clumsy cold hands and a heart that beat way too fast when she came near. She was air, and I was a solid. Yet I didn't matter. In the universe that was she, I was simply a small star that would cease to be. She was longevity. Lounging against the backdrop of her soft yellow wallpaper, I was a wallflower. Yet she gave me her time. I wanted to give her something of mine, something she would crave, something she could keep. Yet the only thing I could give her were pieces of me, fragments of an imagined self. A self that reeked of vintage theaters and vinyl bliss. A self as soft as our first kiss. A self that she would maybe miss, but she was beauty and I was ugly mean. She was everything I wanted. I was the person with whom she chose to be, and beauty lies restraint, and want is the greatest weakness. Yet she showed no restraint. And I was her only weakness. Brief glimpses of unbridled imperfection only came when her arms were wrapped around my midsection. There was no grace in the tears that I saw on her gaze. I let myself get lost in her maze, and my mood would dip when she wasn't around. My feet never felt on solid ground because she was beauty and I was not. And she could leave me, but I could not. So I treasured my time with her. She said she did too, but I was muddy gray, and she was periwinkle blue, and at some point she'd get bored of me, as beautiful people do before a love like this. No matter how fleeting, I'd be caught in her universe. I'd be the lip gloss just an inch from her lips. I'd be the mom jeans that always hung from her hips. I'd be her bliss for as long as she needed, because she was my love, and I was not. This next song is actually the first song that I ever recorded. I wrote it in response to my mother. She had asked me one day why I seemed to purposely connect with the outcasts of the groups I was in. It wasn't something that I used to do, so her question was very valid. This is my response, titled Real. She's traumatized, I can see it in her eyes, and I know I should walk away. I just can't. She's haunted, but she makes me feel wanted, and it's something I never felt, so I don't walk away. She's got issues, made to see, but that girl's got her hooked on me. So I'll put up with anything she does, cause even when she's keeping close, she's beautiful, my pet, set face up a nice skin. But I only like them that once. I only like them when I'm under the skins. On the brink of desperation and insanity, a little bit bonkers, little whacked out. Wish I could change it, but I don't know how. That's just the way that I feel, cause the crazy kids are the only kids who whoa, 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 whoa. He's playing, wants to know that I am baby, cause he's scared that I walk away, and I'm not really sure. He's sick, compulsive and I'll never see. Oh, but I still lose a heart to breathe now, so I don't walk away. He's got something deep inside, it's gonna explode and have my heart. But I love him just the way he is, cause he has great pictures. He's beautiful, my pet, set like something I see. But I only like them bad ones. I only like them when they're on the skis. On the brink of desperation and insanity, a little bit buckles, little back down. Wish I could change it, but I don't know how. It's just the way that I feel, cause the crazy kids are the only kids who are real. Oh, 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 oh. Don't think that I haven't tried to be no more. You know I've tried to go away, but I didn't fit in the perfect bubble. So I had to find new friends. They're crazy and broken and hurting bad, but they won't be with them and all they just as bad. So don't worry, cause I'm never going back, no, no. But I only like when there was, only like there when I want the skis. On the brink of desperation and insanity, on the brink of desperation and insanity, on the brink of we're the only kids who are yeah, the only kids who are yeah, only when the open case open, when the only kiss away. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gray. That was amazing. That was crazy. You all should go find Gray on SoundCloud, Gray Violet with 2 T's, and listen to some of her music. And she only has 1 song out right now, but she has more music always a coming. There are definitely, I know there were a few times where she kind of in and out. It's just part of live virtual art. So hopefully that gets better. But yeah, all right. So thank you so much, Gray, and we will be hearing more from Gray later, I believe. Pretty positive. But for now, we have Hannah Caballero, and she is a freelance dancer and choreographer currently based in Seattle. She graduated from Cornish College of the Arts in 2018 and has presented her choreography in Seattle, California, Texas, Oklahoma, and New York, working with choreographers from all around the world. Performing live music with her tonight is guitarist Dan Corrado. So Hannah, whenever you are ready. And I believe Hannah is working from, I'm not sure. Hello all, I know no one can see me at this exact moment. For some reason, the video got removed for violating terms and services, or not terms and services, whatever, violating, whatever, the YouTube thing. So we are currently trying to figure that out. I mean, we are just restarting the stream, not restarting the event, but unfortunately, totally cut off our dance performers. So I have no clue why that happened, but we're trying to figure it out. So I'm sorry that that happened. That's super annoying. That has not happened before, so that's odd. But thank you all for your patience, and I'm sorry that this is happening. It's very strange. But I'm not entirely sure where what our next step is. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with what just happened, but we are going to keep going, and we're going to, I don't know, figure it out. So we're getting the video back up right now. Yeah, so thank you all. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Again, sorry that it cut out. And a few things. Again, I'm not sure if anyone's actually watching this right now, but you can be sure to comment on on the page where the video is, like the web page that you're watching the video from, unless you click through to YouTube. I'm not. In that case, just go back to the other page, and be sure to comment at the bottom of the page. Comment questions for the artists, and you can live bid for David's art. And and also we have a whole program of all of our artists where you can find their websites or their social media or places, ways you can pay them. And so be sure to check that out. All of the artists right now are struggling. It's very difficult to be able to thrive off of your art, especially for those who don't have a second job, when there's no access to live audiences, to live in-person audiences. So we are, again, we're trying to figure this out. I'm sorry it just crashed. We don't know what happened, but we are getting it back up and rolling. So we're going to be continuing on with the show. But I'm hoping that we are able to get things figured out. So this is live. This is a live show, man. This is what happens. But I think it goes to show all of the, all of the work that goes into putting on any show is insurmountable, and sometimes things just go awry. So it is part of the process for sure. Anyone who has done live performances in any facet knows what it's like when something goes wrong. At least I hope you do, because you learn from those things, and often they're kind of funny to look back on. They can be. So I'm so sorry this is happening. We're trying to get it figured out, all that. And I hope you all are enjoying the show so far. Next up, we have a play that is, we have two plays tonight. We have one now, and then we're going to have a brief five-minute intermission or so, and then we're going to come back and do more art, show you more art. So we have one play, and then intermission, and then some more art stuff, and then another play, and then we say goodbye for the night. So I'm hoping that this is working. Oh, I heard this joke, which I actually am pretty sure I told it on the first one, and it's about the coronavirus. Here, okay, wait. Yeah, never mind. You probably wouldn't get it. Yes, that was a wonderful joke. It's kind of sad, but I mean, it's also kind of funny. So that's kind of how comedy is a lot of the time. Are we rolling? Are we back up? Are we back up and rolling? I'm not entirely sure if what we're gonna do about the dance. situation, because that is, I mean, we really want you to be able to have seen the whole performance. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to happen.
Hey, can I tell you something?
This is our
Since
producer.
this is Kymberlee, and just so everyone knows, if you can see this, we did not violate anything. I don't know why it got flagged. This is going live again. We're trying to get everyone who is, coming in. We're trying to let everyone know everywhere that they need to refresh their pages. So if anyone that's the deal. We're trying to just get everyone to refresh their pages so they can see the new video, and it will be this, we will make this show happen, I promise. So just give us a couple more minutes of this, and actually this might be a really good moment to have a little intermission. Sebastian, maybe you can just sit there and talk, but people can just get up for a minute, do the thing they need to do, stretch out, and then we'll be back with the play in just a couple minutes. I just want to make sure everyone's up to speed. Okay?
Great.
All right. Thanks for your patience, everyone. Sorry about this.
Yes, thank you all for your patience. This is way more than we planned for. Like they said, we don't know why the video got flagged. We did not violate anything. So any guidelines, that's what they're called. I don't know why I said terms and services. We did not violate any guidelines, community guidelines, I think they're called, on YouTube. So we're not really sure why it got taken down. But we're working on getting everyone back so we can keep going. If you all, like I said, if you all have any questions for the artists, please leave questions. We're going to have a Q&A at the end. And make sure to live bid on David's art. I'm not sure, David, do you want to like pop on and talk for a minute? You can talk about, or you can show the art that you have so far.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll just turn this, I'll swing this around. Hey, I'm Dave. Thanks you guys for putting up with the tech issues. Part of doing this is working through things that most of us have not really had to deal with many times. So really appreciate your patience and your good lightheartedness in such a interesting and very sort of painful time. So I would like to say that I am what I've done here. This is a painting that I made. This is a painting I made in the last year, and it was of a peace sign. And what I am doing is I'm going to paint Black Lives Matter. And this has actually been blessed. I've been given this Seattle Black Lives Matter chapter here. They've said, yes, do it. Sounds great. And I will then donate this to them, and they could, if they can sell it, if they want to put it up, whatever they want to do with it. So Black Lives Matter. And if no peace, unless Black Lives Matter. So no peace until Black Lives Matter. All right. And then over here, this is this is kind of a replica of a mural that I did over on Harney Street and 12th Avenue South, and it's over here in Georgetown. It's going to be pretty cobalt blue in a little bit here, mostly cobalt blue. And I'm going to use 24 karat gold paint, and I'm going to make a cityscape, and I'm going to put in trees that kind of look like they're dancing. And I'm going to add 5, 6, 7 space needles. To me, space needles represent, as a kid when I was growing up, we'd come to Seattle, and the space needles to me represented like a future for me, hope, getting out of a little tiny town, going and it was always the first thing we saw coming into Seattle was the space needle. It's kind of now obscured, but so that is with that. I will continue painting, and I have just really I hope that, you know, everybody does what they can to stay safe, stay healthy, and believe in science. And I'm just really thankful I live in Washington State. I will maybe talk again a little bit. Thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate your patience, and we appreciate your creative energy. Thank you.
Thank you, David. That is amazing. And again, I'm gonna keep saying this. Be sure to live bid for his art. If we don't get, I guess, enough live bids, or if we don't get live bids, you can contact David. Find his another thing that connects to this. On the page of the event, we have a show program of a show program with all of the artists and all of the artists that are involved in this show, and ways you can connect with them, ways you can pay them. Support your artists, please. And yeah, so if you are interested in David's art and any of his art, please contact him, or if after the live bids. Yeah, so make sure to live bid. We're trying to get that rolling. So thank you all. And we're still in a little intermission space, so we're grooving. We're moving with the grooving. Hopefully.
I have a question. Where does the live bid? How do they do the live bid? Can you?
They do the live bid on the page with the same page that has the program on it. At the bottom of the page, there's a place where you can leave a comment. So leave a comment with your live bid. I guess with your name and your live bid, and we will see it. And also leave questions there. Please leave questions, and leave questions for the artists, because we want to.
And can I interject? I'm down here in Georgetown at Pogue Studios, which is where I work out of, and we are looking forward to being able to have artists or have people come into our spots again. It's going to be a while, so this is kind of the new norm, I believe, even with the phases getting safer. But we all have to continue to be super careful and cautious, and not think that it's all safe to be without masks and such. So thank you. All right.
Yes, thank you, David. All very true. Please be sure you're making your make sure you're being safe, and wearing masks and social distancing. We do not want the cases to keep. I mean, they're slowly falling, but let's get our city back to its back to how everyone wants it to be. Everyone except for maybe the introverts, but we're trying to. I mean, obviously, this is a very interesting time for art making, because, as you can tell, we're using different means of artistic expression. I mean, and David's been doing murals and stuff all over Georgetown, and has been continuing to express his art while staying safe, and that is exactly what we should all be striving to do right now, and that's what we are trying to bring you tonight. So I'm gonna stop talking for a minute, because I think we've all seen plenty of my beautiful face and heard plenty of my beautiful voice for the moment, and I'm gonna let you watch David painting until we get back on moving.
Well, I guess I needed. This would be the place where it'd be nice to have some music. I'm sorry, I don't have music for you at the moment. And I just looked at the screen and it said, "Would you like to unmute? Would you like to unmute this?" And it's probably better to be able to explain or talk to you guys. I've been painting for a long time. I've been painting since the 60s, and I have a bunch of different styles. One is like landscape thing that I'm doing. Maybe some of you might know some of these pieces, like the rainbow trees, rainbow space needles. Maybe you guys have seen some of my rainbow hats, like right over there. This is my pandemic series right here, and I call it that because all the lines, I started doing these when I was hearing about this, this virus is spreading, and it's just kind of it's a poignant idea, I think, and it's really modern. It's the whole thing of lines and microwaves and people migration, and so it's all very it sort of reminds me of modern technology. I've been doing some of the symbols that represent. There's several different symbols that represent the nurses, doctors, but yeah. So I've been pretty much spending about every single day for the last 3 months, either painting murals or being here painting paintings, and I've been giving away. I've been giving away these hats to people who are on the front lines, and I'll just walk up to them, and I'm like, well, I don't just walk up to them. I say, hey, I actually say, I'm handing these out for an artist who is saying thank you to people who are putting themselves at risk, which is really, I mean, it's pretty amazing that people will, try to keep us going. There's this happening. These are, and so like I've been giving away to people in the grocery store, to all across a gas station, and to like a truck driver. I'm like, hey, would you accept as a gift from an artist a hat? Yeah, totally. And everybody has really appreciated that. So nobody has said, oh, try to use this way for me. So that's good. So I am with that. I think we're still on. And if anybody has any questions, or if you see anything as I'm going about this, my wooden little calendars that I'm making that are sort of I do these little iconic drawings, spirals, and things. And this is what I want to be an Art Basel next year, but I have a hard time with places that charge so much for paintings. It's just kind of strange to me. I don't really buy into that. So. And so let's try, everybody, to be kind and try to always be kind. There's my motto.
We we
Thank
found
you.
out that we got a $200 bid on the art. I know that you're doing 2 different pieces, so I'm not entirely sure. You're doing 2 pieces. Is that true, or are you just doing one?
So this is the one that is for sale. The Black Lives Matter. As I'm donating it to the local chapter of the Black Lives Matter.
Got it. Okay.
They can do whatever they want with it.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just clarifying. So, yeah, we got a $200 bid on this piece of art. So, that's amazing. Make sure to keep sending in your bids, and yeah, let's keep this rolling. Again, you comment your bid with your name, I guess, and and your bid on the comments at the bottom of the page, on the page where you're watching the video, unless you're watching it on YouTube. But the page that has like the program and everything at the bottom, that's where you leave your comments, and leave your questions for the artists. Make sure to leave your questions for the artists. We want to hear from you, and yeah, all right. Also, we have this prize happening for anyone who entered. It's basically like if you anyone who is at the show watching right now, anyone who got a ticket is entered into this. It's basically like a draw for a hat that similar to the ones that David is making for the frontline workers. It is a golden thread hat. So you get that, and you get here's a picture. You get I'm not sure. Can they see the picture? I'm not positive. They might just be seeing my face. But the golden thread, there's a golden thread hat, and then there's a little bit of David's cool stuff that he does. So one of you will be walking away with that, with all of those things. Plus you get 2 tickets for the next show. So we will, I guess, I don't know if we'll announce it at the end of the show or if we're going to email you. Either way, you'll find out. One of you, one special ticket holder gets all of those things. So, all right. So we're going to move on to the show, to the plays, yeah, that's the next thing. So our 2 plays are written by Alina Rios. She is a published author and the editor-in-chief of Bracken Magazine, or Bracken Magazine. And since discovering playwriting in 2017, had her first production in London with the Founding Fall Theatre. She has had her work produced in London, New York, as well as other places in North America, and now virtually. So that is our playwright, Alina Rios. She wrote both of the plays we're going to be hearing tonight. And then we have two actors who are doing the 2 different plays, 2 different characters in 2 different plays. Our actors are Caleb Ryden. He is a Seattle actor, having been acting in the local theater and film community, in local theater and film for over 7 years, including as the leading role of the upcoming film Black Hole. He has worked with many different kinds of people and uses all that he's learned from those vast experiences to bring new meaning to his work as an actor, and is happy to be creating art during these strange times. Our other actor is Alexandra Variano. She is a professional Seattle actor who has been using her creative voice to bring women's untold stories and voices to the surface of cultural consciousness. She is a Cornish graduate, having received her BFA in theater original works, not only learning about acting, but everything behind the scenes as well. While mostly having been involved in theater, she recently has been involving herself further and further in film, both acting and directing. So without further ado, here is our first play by Alina Rios called Stefan Arno. And I'm going to be reading the stage directions. So. we are going to have a moment like the curtain falls kind of moment, and then we're gonna get started. Steph and Arno by Elena Rios. Characters: a woman in her 30s. Steph, a woman in her 30s. Arno, a man of any age but a youthful personality. Setting: the closet. Time: perhaps during the pandemic, perhaps not. Steph is sitting in a dark closet with the door closed.
Arno?
Steph,
You are here. I was hoping you'd be.
it's been a while.
Yeah. Did you know elephants live super long? Like longer than you'd think?
How long?
I don't know. I read it somewhere. And figs.
What?
Each fig has a dead wasp inside.
Explains why I hate figs.
You don't.
Now I do.
If you get on a train at Heathrow to Paddington, you won't see a single tree out your window.
Nah.
Especially if you fall asleep.
Oh.
How long has it been?
No idea. Besides, that's the point, innit?
What?
You wanted to sit in the closet so you wouldn't think about the fact that it's night and time's passing and you can't sleep. I mean, that's the beauty of this place, right? It's always night here, remember?
Night can have phases.
Night is night is night.
But for how long?
Doesn't matter. The world can go on without you, and if you wanted to sleep, you could sleep anytime. And I'll be right here to make sure.
Make sure what?
That you don't disappear.
I don't still worry about that.
Don't you? Well, I'll be here. Like before.
Nobody can see me here.
Exactly.
Nobody knows I'm here.
Right?
I don't have to see all those lit windows and all those flats and all those people not seeing me. You think I'm alive?
Very much so, Steph.
I feel a bit dead. I don't see myself. And I'm talking to you and I don't see you.
Look, it's fine. It's all fine. You're fine. Remember, it's easier this way. Remember what happens when you're out there and you see you, but they don't see you?
Yes. But Anna, what if something happens there? Like some big thing and I'm here and I don't know?
It's just FOMO. You're okay.
Since when you use words like FOMO?
Since we're grown up now.
Are you?
I must be.
Shh. I think I hear them talking. Next door, what's this wall connect to?
It's your imagination.
No, I hear them. I think they're fighting. Mum always said I had a wild imagination. Like it was a bad thing.
It can be a bit. I mean, you are in a fucking closet.
You have a problem with closet. You don't have to stay. Are you hungry?
You are. It's nighttime, remember?
Nighttime is snack time.
I see.
Nighttime is when you can consume the entirety of your fridge and it wouldn't count.
How?
What happens in the dark doesn't count. Like, you know when they say those were the dark times. It means shit was so bad that we raped women and called it comfort work and that was okay. See? Snacks at night are okay.
The scale will disagree.
Hand me that bag of crisps in the corner.
What bag?
Fine, I'll get it myself, since you're judging me.
Opens the bag, eats.
Just missing tea.
Weirdo.
Shh.
What?
We're not here.
Right.
They noticed. They're looking for me.
Who?
People. When I was 19, I had so many friends. Some of them were lovers. I was always floating, not walking, not really. I take the tube to the West End. You remember that ride? It was 50 minutes. I'd fall asleep. I'd get off at Leicester Square and write to Coffee with Paul, a serious, studious Paul with his horn rims, and then off to lunch with Anna and the gorgeous Michelle, herself a swan, and then off to Hyde Park to meet Marcus, a poet and an artist. He'd kiss me under an oak so long my lips would hurt, but I wouldn't tell him. It didn't matter. Because I was so light, remember? Floaty, giddy. And he'd draw me later, someplace with grass and light, and the way he looked at me, every detail of me, inside and outside. One time, and Paul found us there, took a look at the portrait and declared it didn't look like me, and Marcus tore it in two and left it there floating on the wind, torn in half, and Marcus stormed off, leaving the boring Paul to talk to me about linguistics and 69s and look at me adoringly, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Don't.
I haven't said a thing.
I can hear your thoughts, and all I have to say is don't. Do you hear them?
Who?
My parents.
No.
I think they're making eggs. In the cast iron, I can smell the eggs and butter.
All I smell is dust and wet wool.
Eggs and fried kielbasa. How long do you think I can sit here before they do something?
Stop it. You're making this difficult.
No, but seriously. Who needs the closet? At least before I'd hide in the toilet. At some point, someone will need the toilet and they'll come and knock. I remember they'd act all surprised when I'd emerge, red-faced.
I don't know. You wanted to be safe, so you hid. You masturbated even.
Do you know masturbation in kids is self-soothing?
You're making this difficult for yourself.
They'd play music to drown out.
You are the dancing
Whatever I screamed
queen,
out.
young and sweet, only 17.
Nobody checked on me.
The toilet was a safe place.
He'd make cheese toasties in the small oven to distract her.
He'd bring some to the door and knock.
Never did.
You were a bit of a loner. You like to sit alone in the dark for hours.
Crying.
You can self-soothe now. I won't judge.
I'm too big to fit on the floor now.
Is that really still the only way?
This is you not judging. Do you love me?
Of course I do.
Too fast.
What?
You said it too fast.
Because it's true.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm keeping you company.
If you loved me, I wouldn't be here in the first place. I'd be out there among others. I'd be just out with not just you.
Run away, darling, take your flight. I will not chase you or hold you tight. Find a new birch, oak, or elm. Touzle your hair and dirty your hem. Run away, darling, build a nest. Don't keep your treasures in cedar chest. Take out that blue dress, make it shine. Hush your fears with lovage and time. Run away, darling, my sweet dove. Stream and stone will give you love. Open your eyes and you will find your frets and burdens are far behind.
Sounds of birds, trees, water, Hampstead Heath in the early morning flood in.
Oh no. Well, that's... Am I dreaming? I'm at the heath, and my legs are walking its paths, and my eyes are open. Not a dream, then. The sun's just come up. And somehow this is okay. I'm okay. And there's a magpie looking at me sideways, seeing me. And this woman just walked by. She smiled at me. Small smile, but... And you see me. Which must mean, of course, I see me. Because you were never there to begin with, my Anno.
And thank you for that. That was fantastic. That was Stefan Arno by Alina Rios. Make sure to check out her website, I believe, is in her bio on the program page. If you have any questions, that was a little bit of a it was a little bit it might not be super like straightforward on like the whole concept of having the things over the camera. So if you have any questions about that play, be sure to leave them in the comments comment section, and we will read them and we will answer your questions at the end in our Q&A talkback thing. So thank you so much. Since we had a little bit of an intermission beforehand, I believe we were supposed to have an intermission here. I think now we're not doing that. We are going to hear some more music and poetry from Gray. And yeah, I believe that's what's next. So Gray, whenever you're ready. Unless I'm mistaken. We're going. All right.
I'm back. So, in this last portion of my performance, I'm going to share art for what I like to call my good tea and cheap denim collection, as well as a bonus song. This one won't have as much talking in between, so I'll give a brief explanation on the title and then hop into the art. I thought up the idea for the collection when I was in New York City visiting family. I was talking with my favorite uncle about how I really wanted to visit the village because of the tea shops and thrift stores. I was all like, I just want to have some good tea and cheap dinner. And he was like, you should make that into a song. So I did. In my attempt to go 30 for 30 during National Poetry Writing Month this year, I made 3 poems to tell a more detailed story revolving around my 2 favorite things. This first one is called Cafe Illuminations. She asked me what I wanted. I said I wanted good tea and cheap dinner. I wanted that designer tea that cost $6 a cup, maybe $6.50 if you add the beet sugar. I wanted that old denim that was new to me, but fit like a warm glove on a winter's night. The kind that looked dingy on the Goodwill hanger. I wanted to sip that good tea and wear that cheap denim and look across the table at her and for a second think, who is she? Why is she looking at me like I hold all the secrets of the universe? Wait, maybe I am the universe. Wait, maybe I am her universe. Wow, she is my girlfriend. And maybe she's infatuated, but possibly I am too. I slide over my fancy tea. Before she takes a sip, I tell her, careful, love, it is hot. I don't want her to feel any pain, at least not from me. She feels pain from men and pain from life and pain from past experiences that she sometimes tells me about, but I am determined to cause her no pain. In fact, if she can sip my tea, let her hand settle on my denim cloak leg, if I can lay my hand gently on top, not smothering, just enough contact to feel my presence, if that could be my present. My gift of reassurance, of bumbling around, trying to make her realize that she holds all the secrets of the universe because she is the universe, because she is my universe, and wow, she is my girlfriend. I know that I have heavy rainbow lace Doc Martens to fill, but I'm up to the task. So is it too much to ask that I fill your heart with some good tea and some enchantingly grungy tune? This next poem is called Careful Love, It Is Hot. Careful love, it is hot. I say it just before I raise my cup to her lips. She holds the cup, blows on it gently. She blows on it with care. She blows on it with ease. She takes a sip, satisfied. A cute noise escapes her mouth. Eyes close briefly. Breath slowly escapes. She is in their bliss. How magical it must be to find bliss in tea. To savor every bit of the beverage that it takes an hour to finish one cup. Each mug requires rumination, and if I could feel your sensations, be a fly on the wall of your advanced herbal palate. Actually, I think you feel it in your soul. Through each individual leaf, leave an imprint on your psyche, a shimmer on your subconscious. Many love letters ago, we bonded over a love of tea. But your love is more complex than mine will ever be. I want to be your tea, to be held tightly, to feel the loving caress of your cool breath on my hot skin, to be sipped from until I am empty, but never thrown away, because waste is the greatest tragedy. You reach out your hand to me, the hand that doesn't hold the tea. You speak to me, bless me with a smile. I am included in this relationship of tea. You, the tea, and me. This next song is called Good Tea and Cheap Denim. Shout out to my Uncle Charlie. I love you, you're the best. I want some good tea and cheap denim. Too many hearts, you know I really wanna listen to some self-care. Wear my face bare, please stay right here. You want some kind of nice around me. You want some kind of nice around me. I'm not looking for love, but if someone else would take me for tea, let me just be myself from now and then. I'm right there. Every time it's fun and I feel content, turn my keyword on, let my words be said on this paper, on this paper. I need some good tea and cheap denim. Too many asking if I really wanna listen. Some self-care, let me face bare, stay right here. You want some kindness around me. You want some kindness around me. Listen, I must feel love, but it's plain to see. And you must have done something to me. I'm right there. I'm right there. And if I'm mistaken, maybe you won't bet. Don't think that it is me. I love you, you said. I'll say it now. Just forget so saying it. I need some good tea, cheap denim. Too many asking if I really wanna listen. Self-care, when me face bare, stay right here. You want some kindness around me. You want some kindness around me. It's not that I do not care. It's that I care too much. So I learned to do some cheap denim, because it never fades and it always stays deep down before I touch. It's nothing you do, no matter what. You're my better song. But I knew those things singing in me. Nothing keeps me safe, some peace in my way. Even if you don't want me no more, no, 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 no. Da do, da do, da da. Dirty and cheating on, dirty and cheating on. Whoa, whoa, This last poem is called Enchantingly Grungy Dinner. This enchantingly grungy denim slides onto my form like your hands wish they could slide over me. They're baggy, yet my curves were more at home here than in leggings and skirts and other pants. When I go loose on bottoms, sometimes I go tight on top. I let a sliver of brown skin show. I reward the world with a glimpse of melanin. A glimpse is all they get. A glimpse is more than they deserve. I preserve a piece of me in this dinner. I let my story seep into the thread, cuff my growing dissatisfaction when it gets too long. I acid wash my fears, turn them into splotchy dreams. I take in the seams and let out confidence. She loves these jeans. She can't stop looking at my disguised figure. She guesses what lies underneath. I say, trust me, it's like nothing you've ever seen. She says, oh, that I can believe. I want her to see. But at the same time, I don't. I don't want to be spoiled, ruined, used goods thrown in a nondescript Goodwill bin. I don't want to be recycled, passed off from wearer to wearer. I know that it's good for the environment, but it's not good for me. So maybe she'll have to be okay with the wall of denim between us. Maybe I've already given too much. Maybe she will never be enough. Maybe these jeans are the only things that will slide over me consensually. Love is highly sought after, which is why it is never free. I rarely ever feel free. I am love. I am bargain denim. I am overpriced tea. Going along with the subject of how I find myself torn between how I perceive myself and how I want others to perceive me, I'm going to sing a final song about growing up and how bittersweet it is. It's titled Bittersweet. I don't want to be a woman if you're trying, but I want to be a woman if you're down for love. Sometimes I don't know different stuff, so maybe I should just shut up. I guess I only wanna be one though when it's fun. Not me, yes I am. More it's easier said than done, especially in the summer. 'Cause mostly love, you know it. Hard enough for pressure when everyone's giving it up. It's hard enough for sure when you were fake and not innocent and still cling on. Because it opens gates, because apparently you're ready, and I speak the wrong set, but I can't shake the feeling that my impaired womanhood is coming too fast. Like a dream my childhood past. I don't wanna be a woman if you're trying, but I wanna be a woman if you're down for love. Sometimes I don't know different stuff, so maybe you should just shut up. I guess I only wanna be one when it's love. When does one minute start? Everyone has different ideas. Some say 12, others 25. Why must it be so unclear? Why do I still hold dear my teddy bear? run against the night away. Get my first tattoo, the one I supervise all day. Still need my mommy and her, but she really kills my vibe. But vibes come at a price, so much too high. One of the reasons I cry is because I try to walk the fence of common sense, and I'm good time right. You can't tell this once I'm free. It's bittersweet. Just let me go at my own pace. Love isn't a sprint, and love isn't a race. Just let me go at my own pace. Love isn't a sprint, love isn't a race. Oh, love isn't always not. Oh, love isn't always not. Love isn't always not. Love isn't always not. Love isn't always not. Just let me go. Just let me go. Just let me. Just let me. Just let me go. Just let me go. Whoa, just let me go. Oh, just let me go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gray. That was fantastic. Y'all, there's so much goddamn talent in this city of Seattle, in this world, in the youth, and in the not youth, and it's I think this event is really great for being able to, I don't know, being able to connect to so many different kinds of people. Like some of these people I'm meeting for the first time for this event, and some of them I'm not. And I think there's something really magical about that. So I hope you all continue to come to our shows, to the next two. Once again, June 13th at 7 is Women's Work, and July 11th at 7 is Youth Edition. I wanted to say a couple things before we move on to our last little, I guess, act or whatever of the evening. First thing is, be sure to check out, if you want to see more of Gray's work, they have she has a YouTube, she has a SoundCloud, Instagram. Check out her bio. I'm sure that stuff is there. And tomorrow she is competing at the Youth Speaks Grand Slam for a spot on the Seattle Brave New Voices slam team. So it's pretty amazing. And that's tomorrow at 6. So if you want to check out some more of her poetry, I highly recommend it. I'm gonna be there, and it's free, so get your tickets. The other thing is, I want to just say a quick note. 10% of all of the show's profit will go to Mary's Place, which is an organization that helps women and their children who are escaping domestic violence. So I obviously you've already given some amount of a donation, but please go check them out. They're an amazing organization here in Washington, and yeah, I think they actually are elsewhere as well. But yes, anyway, so please go check them out, and if you feel so inclined, donate more to them. Yeah. My other last note is a reminder to bid on the live artwork, and in the comments with your name and your bid. Okay, now let's move on to, we're gonna have another play by Alina Rios, read by Caleb Ryden and Alexandra Variano. I want to say a quick note that this play has some, is sort of self-rated R for some sexual content and some adult language. It's not anything extreme, it's just some conversation. So if you feel like you need to if you feel like you can't watch that, then you can come back in like 15 minutes. We'll probably be on to the ending portion of our event. So thank you all. And this is Touch Me by Alina Rios. Oh, and again, we're gonna give a minute so the actors and myself can get ready to read. Touch Me by Alina Rios. Characters: woman, 29, a new mom. Man, 32, a new dad, woman's husband. Setting: the living room in the flat where the woman and man live. Woman and man are sitting on the couch. Man tries to make out with woman.
No, I've just had our baby's hands all over me all day. I don't even touch myself.
You mean?
Yes. I don't comfort myself anymore.
I can comfort you.
No.
Why the fuck not?
Because I'm not me. There is no me inside me right now.
Huh?
I'm not here. I need a drink. I need a glass of fucking wine from a glass that I don't wash myself, from a bottle that I don't open myself.
Jesus, is this you asking me to bring you a glass of wine?
No.
Okay, I'll get you a glass of wine.
Don't get it for me if you don't want to.
I want to make love.
Good for you.
It's the only time we have. She's in her deepest sleep.
I want to be in my deepest sleep too.
More than you want wine?
Yes.
More than you want sex?
I don't want sex. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Well, how does it work?
I told you before.
Tell me again.
I want to lie next to you first. And we need to talk about the world.
What, like current affairs?
Well, current affairs that you've made your current affairs. The bits that really touch you and get under your skin. Like Boris Johnson. For me, that is.
He's all right.
See, we need to have a proper row about that.
Oh, row is what you.
And then, after we've had that and we are maybe not wearing old clothes, I need you to not jump on me just because we're in bed together.
I don't jump.
Just feels like it.
I wish you would just...
What?
I don't know. Not see me like that, like the predator, because I'm not. I want to please you.
No.
I want to love you.
No.
I want to hold you and rock you and kiss you
No.
and hold you after.
No, you want to penetrate. That's your ultimate goal.
I don't have a goal.
You do, you do, you do.
I don't think of it as a goal.
No.
No. I love you.
When you get this urge to make love, when you feel things tingle down there, wait, do they tingle? Do they ache? Do they get hot? Does your groin go hot all over first and then tingles and then... Anyway.
Yes.
When you feel that down there, what do you see? What's the image in your mind? Is it of slowly running your hands along my back for a good 20 minutes? Of kissing me and kissing me and kissing, of pressing your lips gently on my thighs?
I mean...
Or is it of entering, forcing your way through, gaining access, infiltrating, poking through, storming in?
You don't have to put it in those words.
Of entering and entering and entering again, claiming the space, filling the void that must be filled.
Right. Jesus, it's not that violent. Why are you so suddenly... I mean, sometimes you like it when I'm a bit, a bit forceful. You say, fuck me, you do, you women, you seem to just...
No. Sometimes. But when I want to, not when you want to.
Jesus.
Because when I want, it's like there's no more obstacle to force through. Like no barrier. It's like, I invite you to enter. Then it's all different. You know when your aunt comes over uninvited?
The queen of perfume?
Yeah. So you know how we feel when she just fucking calls up from downstairs. I really know how you feel. You fume. Your eyes, I swear they turn a dark color, like they actually do. And I can feel your rage from the kitchen where I'm making tea. I can feel it as she's asking you all the pokey questions.
Yes, like why I'm not working more or making more money so we can move out of this place. She calls it a dump, actually.
But it's not the pokey questions, right? I mean, they are awful. But her being here when you didn't want her to because you were in the middle, I don't know, watching a game.
Fucking hate that.
But you don't get angry when she comes over, say, for Christmas.
Well, no, I'm prepared.
We've invited her.
Yes. Did you just compare our lovemaking to my aunt's visit?
Maybe.
Okay. How can I make you want it?
You can't make me.
Okay, how can I encourage you, entice you? How can I titillate you?
I never want it.
Sometimes you do. That morning?
When you said you wanted to sleep some more, I wanted you, not it.
I just really wanted more sleep.
I want more sleep all the time. I want more sleep now. It's unusual for me.
What? To want more sleep? I'd say that's pretty acceptable for a new mom.
No, to be so openly, to want you. I felt so ashamed.
I'm sorry. There's nothing to be. It's just me.
It's best to pretend I don't want to need. I'm a sophisticated woman with a brain. I can get my comforts from Pride and Prejudice and a pint of ice cream.
Okay, so when I see you in that state, which has been happening a lot lately, is this your way of inviting me?
No.
No.
No. Those are the times I really don't want to be touched. Unless you're Matthew McFadden.
Who?
Never mind.
This is getting okay, when can I touch you? We are married.
No, don't throw the M word around. It depends on the touch, what we did before.
Okay.
Like, have you asked me about my day?
Like today?
No, in general. And today, yes, today especially.
I always do. I come in and I say, how's Agnes today?
That's not my name.
You know what I mean.
No,
I want to know how you two got on today.
that's not asking about my day.
She's a baby.
Yes.
When I ask about her day, it's the same day, isn't it?
No. You ask me how she ate. Did she cry too much? Did she play? How many nappies did I change? Were there any blowouts in those nappies?
I'm not actually asking that.
You are, if you're asking how's Agnes today. That's her day. Nappies and feeding, and if I'm bloody lucky, sleeping. Oh, and burping. There's a lot of burping and spitting up.
Okay, how was your day?
Great.
Good.
Actually, it was awful. I took Agnes out for a walk. We both needed to get some air. Well, I did. But she was all fussy before we left. I was so desperate for a good cup of coffee, so desperate that I got out of the house without a shower. I mean, shower. Just that word, it makes me tingle all over.
This excites you. A shower excites you.
Immensely. Anyway, so there I was, hair uncombed, body unwashed, but nobody knows. I know, of course, I feel it. I feel sticky with baby things, but I'm feeling good. I'm out. I'm out for a walk with my baby who is in her super slick pram that her unmentionable aunt got her, and I feel like I got this. I'm out in the world with my baby, and I'm going to get a bloody coffee like the rest of the world in the mornings. And then I see her.
My aunt? But she's in Hampstead. What is she doing?
No, who cares? No, I see her.
Why won't you say who?
I can't. You know I can't.
Oh, her. What was Amanda,
Don't
right?
say her name. Don't fucking say her name.
Okay. You see her.
Yes. And she's everything about her. She's wearing these tight, skinny jeans. They're torn in perfect little places, very tastefully, barely torn really, because she's not anymore, not even if she thinks she is. But she's not, and she knows it. And so she won't wear too torn. And a plain white t-shirt. It fits her so well, and her breasts look so fucking good in that shirt. They're small and perky and not full of milk, so touchable.
Are you hearing yourself?
Absolutely. I wanted to touch. I wanted to fondle them. They were so perfect. And her hair is slick and black without a single gray hair, and it's pulled back, not too tight, not too loose. And her purse, it's small. It's so small, and it's made of leather, which I know is not, well, I shouldn't like, but I do love the feel of leather. And I wish the diaper bag was leather. I so do. But then the spit, the pee, the occasional poop wouldn't wash off. I mean, it might give it character.
I never knew you felt so strongly about leather.
I do. It's ridiculous, I know.
Only a bit.
Anyway, there we both are, heading for the same coffee shop, and I feel like jumping into the blackness, because I will never, ever look like that. Ever! And she waves to me, like we're all pals, like we didn't have you in common. And when she is near, she smells expensive, sophisticated, put together, and I try to stay further away because I don't want her to smell the milk, because I don't know. But she goes in for a hug. Why? I won't ever forgive her that. And while I want to touch her, I don't want her to touch me. So we're having this awkward whatever, and I try my best to act like I got this. I pick up Agnes because she wants to say hi, and I bounce Agnes possibly too vigorously while I talk about how much fun Agnes and I are having. I feel like I almost have her convinced, and frankly, myself, as I talk about Handmaid's Tale, that I finally read because, well, no sleep, and I know she's a reader, and I have us both convinced I'm a reader too, when Agnes spits up all her breakfast and maybe midnight snack into my hair. And it drips down onto my favorite hoodie. I rub at it with a cloth nappy I keep just for this, because no, it's not the first time, but this time it really hurts. She makes her face into a pout of what's meant to be compassion and rushes in to get coffee, and I think, you fucking bitch. You escaped, didn't you? It could have been you with leaky breasts and spit up in your hair. It could have been you.
Man opens his arms, inviting the woman for an embrace. She embraces him. He holds her tight and rocks her.
That was quite...
I know.
Look, you must know. I love you and your leaky breasts. I think it's crazy how they give life to Agnes, like almost unreal. How can you be the sole source of our daughter's sustenance? But you are, aren't you? Sometimes I think, I can't help it, but I do think such things. I think you think them more when you're happy, actually. I think what would happen if you were gone, like if something awful happened and suddenly there was no you. And I think I couldn't live through that.
You could. You would.
Maybe. For Agnes. But what I'm trying to say is how important you are. Not just for what you do, for the care, you know, for the baby care and the feeding, because I know it can be done by somebody else, and I know that there's formula and such, and kids survive, but you are important. Your presence in my life and in our lives, your spirit, your anger, your love. I have my wishes. I always want more than you can give. This will remain, but so will I. I ain't going anywhere.
They start to make love. The baby begins to cry. They groan and laugh together. He starts to get up, but he goes instead and brings the baby to bed. The three drift off to sleep. Blackout. Y'all. I know no one can hear each other, hear each other's applause, but that was so beautiful and so poignant. And thank you so much to both of you and to Alina. Again, you guys get to ask questions. So go comment your questions, and we're gonna answer them in just a few minutes. All right. Well, can I get everyone on the screen? Have their audio and video turned on. Everyone, including Alina, who we haven't even seen yet. And we're gonna. I just want to thank. I want to thank all of you artists, and I want to thank all of you audience members who stuck through it with us, even despite the technical difficulty and the craziness. Thank you all so much for spending your time and for letting us share our passion with you, despite the fact that we can't do it in person. Thank you for coming through, and and doing it virtually. We all appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And all of you artists, can we just like take a bow, please? I want all of you. Yes. Go. Come on, full bow. I wanna see it. Yes, thank you. Yes. And I think we should start by introducing us all, everyone. And we can go and do things in a little bit of a groove. We're gonna start with, let's start with just introducing yourselves and what you do and who you are. Even though I've introduced you, you've kind of introduced yourselves. I want the people to hear you speak. So let's start. I'm just gonna go in the order on my screen. Let's start with Alexandra.
Okay, I'm Alexandra Variano. I'm a Seattle actor, mostly so far in theater, but as Sebastian said earlier, I've started doing some film stuff. I'm also a writer. I'm working on 2 different screenplays that have been requiring a lot of research, so those are in a very long process, but hopefully someday they will come to fruition. And I'm really grateful to be here.
Thank you, Alexandra. Okay, let's go with Gray.
Okay, I'm Gray Violet. I am a singer, songwriter, and poet. I live in Olympia right now, but in the fall I'll be going to Cornish College of the Arts in Seattle for music, which I'm incredibly excited about. Currently I'm working on a chapbook to go along with an EP that I'm trying to drop at the end of the summer. So this show was actually a really cool opportunity to kind of test that out and see what things really work. That's what I'm working on. And tomorrow I'm slamming at the You Speaks Grand Slam, which is also insane to me. Yeah, that's who I am.
Thank you, Gray. Sorry, hold on. And I wanted to make a quick note. I don't know where Hannah is. Hannah, our dancer. But Hannah and Alexandra and David are all Cornish College of the Arts graduates, and Gray is going there in the fall. So we have a lot of Cornish representation tonight. All right, Alina, will you talk about yourself?
Hi, I'm Alina Rios, and I'm a playwright in this show. You've seen 2 plays. I'm super happy to be here. I'm currently based in Seattle. I also write poetry, working on the chapbook right now. Hi, Gray. We're both working on the chapbook. I also run a literary magazine called Bracken. Actually trying to release a new issue. I was working up until the show. So, creative life continues. Anyway, so happy to be here and so happy to see the talents of everybody. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Yes. David, are you able to speak about yourself? I mean, I know you spoke about yourself earlier, but if you want to just introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Dave Johansen. I for years I've been doing Pride every year since about 87 or something like that. I was selling my hand painted shirts in the Pike Place Market in 1983, I think, 84. So I've kind of been around this city for a long time, and I value the creative energy I feel in this city, this town. And so, all throughout this spring has been very interesting. And, of course, progressive thinkers aren't really, we're at a crossroads right now. And so we just have to be cautious and as well very vocal. So on that note, feel free to Facebook David Johansen Seattle, Instagram, David Johansen Studio. And if feel free to send me a message on Messenger or Instagram. If you're a frontline or an essential worker, I'd like to give you a hat. So I don't have tons of them left because I give away a bunch, but I want to give them away as a thank you very much for your working during these times. And then this is, I'll show you the painting, and it was a peace sign. This is over here. The painting is coming along. I'm still working on it, and it'll get more interesting as I develop it. But it's just, if you go to over in Georgetown, you'll see a big 16-foot long painting. This, and I think it's actually going to be a lot of the artists that have been doing the murals around the table book, and there are some amazing murals out around town. So if you get a chance to be safe and to look at the murals, take a chance to take a look at them. And
Absolutely.
Get back around.
Thank
you.
Yeah, be sure to contact David if you are interested in any of his work, or just want to learn more about him because he's kind of cool.
No, thank you.
And one of the buttons on my blazer just fell off. Please excuse me. Caleb. Please introduce yourself and talk about yourself and everything.
Well, hello. I am Caleb Ryden. I'm an actor based out of Seattle, Washington, but I'm really in Bothell. No one knows where that is, though. So no one that is least asking where I'm from knows where that is. Right now, I mean, usually I'm doing like theater constantly, and then like a little bit of film here and there and stuff. Most of the film I do is horror and is not suitable for like children and stuff, but like it's very fun and I love it. Oh my god, what was I gonna say? I haven't really been doing much since quarantine started because I was, like everyone else, was stuck in my house for two so months doing my thing. Most of my thing was Animal Crossing. That was fun. But current projects besides this, I am currently in a film called Black Hole, and honestly, I can't really say much about it without really spoiling the entire everything about it, because it's just like so like complex in like every single way. Like all of it's like very much like representation of like other things. It's really just the entire film is just up to everyone's perspective on it. So I don't want to like throw my own perspective out there and change how someone might view it later. So I'm not going to say much, but you can find all the stuff about that on my Facebook, which is literally just my name. And I think I'm public, so you should be able to just see everything. And if I'm not, you can't see stuff, just go ahead and friend me because I'll probably say yes. And if other than that, my Instagram, Ryden.dirty, sorry. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here. I love doing this. I'm just here to vibe.
There's a really cool like teaser of Black Hole on Facebook, right?
Yeah, if you want to see me like spit up some like black like gunk and like be disgusting, like it's really cute. You should.
Very cool. I was like whoa.
Yeah, that stuff. Just so you know, it tastes really good. I'm gonna be honest.
That's good. Well, what's funny is like fake blood often tastes really good because it's made like.
It's really nice, but anytime I'm like on a set and they're like, okay, we're gonna shoot you with a blood cannon, I'm like, please, it's so good.
Okay. Okay, so we have a few questions already, and I want you all to send in more questions. So please do that. We really want to hear from you and hear what you thought and hear your questions, hear your little interests about these wonderful people. So, we have from Matthew. Matthew wants to know, was the whole act in the closet a dream? Lena, you may want to touch on that.
Yeah, I'll answer that. So yes and no. It's really just literally her, Steph, sitting in the closet, and then she falls asleep in the closet and ends up sleepwalking onto the heath.
So how did the idea of the like of Arno being essentially like an imaginary friend, where did that come from? Anything in particular, or was that inspired by anything that you?
Yeah, I think I mean, the whole play was kind of a combination of so many different things, so I can't even pinpoint when the idea of Arno actually popped up. I knew that Steph was in there, and I knew she was talking to somebody, and then it was like one of those things. It was like, oh, of course, it's it's her friend from childhood, of course. And then that was before I even knew the names Steph and Arno. And as soon as I got that it was her friend from childhood, or her imaginary friend from childhood, the names popped into my head as well. So it was a really, really cool kind of thing. And then I know nobody asked, but it was an interesting bit that the bit of sleepwalking onto the heath was actually from my friend in London, Gemma's Instagram post, where she actually ended up somehow after a sleepless night sleepwalking onto the heath. So yeah, and I just thought that's actually that's perfect. So
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's crazy. Dang. Okay, Luna says, beautiful work, everyone. Could we hear from everybody how they've been keeping up their crafts in quarantine outside of this production?
Well, as I said before, I sort of tried to get back into writing. I had started 2 different screenplays last summer, and again, they require a lot of research. They're both sort of historical fiction, and one is an adaptation of a project I already did, but a solo show that I wrote. But getting into fully adapting it for the screen for a full length thing has proven to be a lot of work. So I sort of let that one go for a little bit, and I because of all of the the people who are out of work right now, and now with the injustice that we're seeing in our country, the other one that I'm writing is about the labor rights movement from the turn of the century, and that just started feeling more relevant again. And so I started sort of digging back into the resources that I had found previously, and then starting to write some scenes. And so I'm hoping I'll be able to keep up momentum on that, but it's definitely up and down depending on the week or the day. Yeah.
I definitely feel that. I did not mention that I am also a little bit of a writer. I've been writing for most of my life, but definitely, just like you said, I've had breaks constantly. It might go for a couple days, might go for a couple weeks, might go for a couple months, but it always comes back. Actually, it's really funny that Luna was the one that asked that question, because the most recent screenplay that I'm writing, I'm actually co-writing with Luna. So Luna, you know the answer to this question. We have this one longer, not really longer, it's like a one season type little story that we are putting together, and it's the type of story that's there's so many different things going on. You have to have all the backstories going like happening at different times and like make sure the timelines line up and everything. So it's definitely very difficult, but it is something to do because other than that, all I'm doing is working at Starbucks because I live the very, very, very basic life of barista and actor.
Yes. Classic. Does anyone else? Oh, goodness gracious, sorry. Does anyone
it's
else
so
have anything else?
For me personally, well, when quarantine had started, I was in the middle of a lot of projects, like music wise. And I'm really lucky to be a part of some amazing arts organizations like Youth Speaks and Totem Star, where even though we've been in quarantine, they've been literally doing the most to like make sure that we have support. And so for the most part, I'm still able to record and I'm still able to do my poetry. If anything, quarantine has really made me have to like step up as an artist and like get equipment. Like if you asked me in maybe like January, oh, you know, would you have a mic stand? Would you know how GarageBand works? Would you know how to do a bunch of other music stuff that like people don't really talk about when they talk about being a music artist? I would be like, no, like I have this place where I can do that and that place. And so like being in quarantine has really made me have to like figure out what I need to do to still continue my art. I've also just on the poetry side, I've been going to a bunch of workshops and slams because even though I live in Olympia, I do like everything in Seattle. And so it's hard sometimes to go to like every single event to like make the commute. And so the cool thing about quarantine is that now I can literally go to a poetry slam in Berkeley at 3 and then go to maybe someplace in like New Zealand and at 5. And so I've just been taking advantage of all of those opportunities to learn from other poets and other songwriters and really better myself. So yeah, I've just been going heavy on workshops, poetry readings, open mics, and still keeping up with writing and singing myself.
That's amazing. If you all want to hear more from these artists, I did interviews with Gray and Caleb and David and Alina all on live. I did a Zoom interview and like 10-minute interview, and they're on Instagram at Golden Thread Arts. They're really great. Like it was a great conversation. So if you want to learn more about them, we covered like some of these things I already know because I talked to them there, and so I encourage you to go watch the interview because they're very good. They're also on Facebook, right? Yeah. Okay, we have another question from Matthew. What is everyone's favorite quarantine music right now? Ooh, I love that question.
I don't know. I have the very bad taste in music. I don't have anything on Spotify. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Mac Miller. I don't know. I don't have an answer. Matthew knows. I know Matthew. He has good music. We should be asking him this question.
Alexandra has like a whole
I have
musical theater music she likes listening to.
We
okay, musical
our mom's Christmas gift to us this year was Spotify Premium for the year. And so I've been fully taking advantage of that and getting introduced to a bunch of new musicals, which has been really fun. So that is the main thing I listen to because I'm a nerd. But yeah.
I've been listening to lots of cello music, and also remembering for some reason the bands I used to a lot in the past, like Broken Bells and Coldplay, and I don't know. It's been kind of like a bit of a like I'm more into older music. It seems comforting right now to listen to stuff, but I'm still trying to discover new stuff at the same time.
I feel like I've been doing kind of a similar thing of like going back and listening to music that I used to really enjoy, while also listening to music that I currently enjoy, and also listening to new music. It's like the whole shebang right in my ears. That was such a weird thing to say. Why did I say that? But personally, I really like artists like Daniel Caesar, Caesar. Isn't that how you pronounce it? SCA.
Seasoning.
And I also like listening to other kinds of music. I also love musical theater music. I have like the smorgasbord of music tastes, but I don't know. Does anyone else have any any other?
So, go ahead. Go ahead.
I listen to, gosh, almost everything. I also gifted myself with Spotify Premium, which is possibly the best gift I could have given myself. I have different playlists for different things. I like lo-fi for like writing poetry. It's really nice. I have like a whole playlist that I call like my like in my feels playlist when I want to make a bunch of like sad boy poetry. And so it's like it'll be like Chase Atlantic. They're this, I don't even know what genre they would be, but they're this great like kind of indie like alternative R&B trap-ish kind of group from Australia. I really like SZA as well. She's an icon. We love her. Who else have I been listening to? I've been listening to Troye Sivan also because he's my favorite. Yeah, I listen to almost everything. It really just depends on my mood, but I've just been like switching it up and trying to broaden my musical horizons.
That's awesome. I love that.
Can I just say so I've been making music for years and years and years, and I have 3 albums on Spotify. And so I do a lot of remixes. I have a whole SoundCloud. I've got Mixcloud, and I've got I also was a DJ in the late 90s, 2000s. I've got about 100 hours of mixes on either of those platforms, or
Wow.
any of the music platforms, like any of them. You can find my songs there. My stuff is sort of my work is some people think it's kind of sad, even though I'm a super positive, happy vibe. And I don't know why that is, but I oftentimes kind of sing a dirge, or if you are familiar with Dead Can Dance or Depeche Mode or Pet Shop Boys, I kind of sound like that. So thank you. And I like all sorts of music. So thank you.
That's so cool. That's amazing. Dang. Wow. We have some very multi-talented people in this whole group here. But okay, well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Final thoughts. Final things. Again, thank you all. I don't know how many of you stuck around for the Q&A, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope that you all are staying safe and staying healthy. And we love you, and we are sending all of our love out to you, into the community, into the world. And we're hoping that it is, I don't know, received.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a winner of any of the painting, or is that something that will be later, or?
That is a really good question. I'm looking for our producer. Oh yeah, okay. The winner is Brittany.
Oh, cool. Okay, we have a
$200.
winner.
So yeah, pretty
Awesome.
awesome. So Brittany gets that amazing piece of art. And then we have our winner of the prize drawing is Kristen Evans. Yay! You get
Yay!
Yay, Kristen! I love you.
2 free tickets for the next show. You get a golden thread hat. You get some other little swag from David, and it's basically like a wonderful package. So I hope you enjoy that. And again, Mary's Place, we're donating 10% of the show's profit to Mary's Place. But if you are interested in continuing if you are interested in donating more to them, I highly encourage it. If that's something you're able to do. With all of the coronavirus stuff, people being at home, domestic violence has risen dramatically, and it's really awful. And so Mary's Place is still offering a safe space to these women and these children who are just trying to get through life. And so any donation you can make, any support you can send their way is greatly appreciated. And our next show that is coming up is Women's Work. It's on June 13th. It is at 7, and it is tickets are on sale now. So, and we have our artists, and it's 2 weeks from today, I believe. Yeah, 2 weeks. So get your tickets for that if you enjoyed this, and please share with your family and friends. We would love to see you guys back here again. Oh yeah, and the pre-sale tickets are $15 through the 5th. Also, if you sign up for the newsletter, Kymberlee de Luce's newsletter on their website, you will get updates about upcoming shows and their work and information and lots of wonderfulness. So I hope you do that. And all of these artists really appreciate everything that you're contributing. And and also the tickets for the next show, for the show on the 13th, the tickets for people of color are free. That is, we're trying to make art accessible, and especially right now, with all of the shit going on, we want to try to help in whatever way we can, and offer our support in whatever way we can. And so the coupon code for that is BLM 2020 for people of color for the show on June 13th. So I think without further ado, thank you all so much for coming. Thank you all artists. We should do another bow, like when they do like the encore bow.
Can we like pretend to hold hands? Can we do like a little?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Yes. Yeah. And thank you all for coming, and we love you. Come see the shows in the future, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. All right. Peace out. Thank you again. This is my rubber chicken.